Good morning, everyone. This is Mary Ellen coming to you from Moonrise Cottage for your Aquarius April 2018 Soul Tarot reading. Hooray, it's spring! I'm so glad. For those of you that are new, welcome. It's wonderful to meet all the folks who are finding their way to this channel. For the returning viewers and subscribers, welcome back. We've had a brutal winter here, and I'm thrilled to be doing the reading for April. Spring has officially arrived. The solstice was a couple days ago. I waited until after the solstice to bring the readings forward. So what you're seeing on your screen is a photograph of the spread from March. I would like you to just take a look at that, refresh your memory. I'm going to go through it a little bit. A couple of announcements. For those of you that don't know, my website is up and operating. I'm still building it out a little bit, but functionally it's working quite well. You can go and look at all the choices for readings, distance healing, and the medium services that I offer, and book your own reading. You'll get a confirmation email the day before your reading. You're going to get a reminder. If you have any challenges, you can contact me through the website. And it is Moonrise Cottage soultarot.com. It will be listed below the video. You can just click on the link, and I also just put a link right on my landing page on the bottom right hand side of the landing photo, so you can click right there. It'll take you right to my schedule. Okay, so a couple days ago I did a special reading. A butterfly showed up here. If you haven't seen that reading, I would urge you to go check it out. Actually, you know what? I'm going to transition over. Hi, guys and girls. Great to be here with you once again. There's been a lot going on here at Moonrise Cottage. I had a very special visitor. And, you know, in between the snowstorms that have been happening, a butterfly showed up here. It was, you know, from my point of view, a supreme gift and a very deep message from Spirit, because it's long before any butterfly should be coming out of its cocoon. You know, usually not until May in this part of the world. If you haven't seen that reading, I'm getting a little push from Spirit. Go and check it out. It is confirmation of the messages that have been coming through and the message that we have today. So I'm going to toggle back. We'll go through last month's reading, and then we'll jump in. So last month, beautiful healing. Look at the very center card. That represents your aspect, so to speak. And so there was a discussion about the fact that you were continuing a healing process. The card to the right of the healing cauldron, that card is a prophecy. That is the augury of skill. So the augury of skill is the Spirit card. And we were being guided by Spirit, put on notice. Spirit always says, you know, that this is the theme of the reading. This is what is going to come forward. The development of new skills and a prophecy, so to speak, about how you are going to be able to use them and send those things forward into the world. And that young man has blue trousers on. It's a signification of having been transformed in some way. So that was a Spirit message over the top. The one to the left of that is your aspect. So it follows quite nicely. It is unusual to experience any kind of transformation in your life without having some kind of healing, some kind of growth, some kind of metamorphosis, if you will. And on the bottom row of cards, we see starting the human walk, supporting your movement, the King of Battle. A notification from Spirit about the support that you're getting and the mystical, okay, Spirit's saying two things. The mystical notions and the mystical experiences that are attached to your human walk. The King of Battle looks directly at this beautiful young warrior. So the notion of the human walk as a sacred warriorship was part of what was coming through. And if you look at the left-hand column, vertical column of cards, we see that notion of sacred warriorship all the way through. So very connected, very mystical form of shift and change, solidifying what has come to us on earth, Spirit says, as a result of the efforts that were put in last year toward your own development. And the visitation from the butterfly was an absolute confirmation for me. And Spirit saying, yes, just to let us know, coming in the extremely unlikely circumstances so that we would not miss the message, Spirit says. So the King of Battle on the bottom left looks directly at this beautiful young warrior who has had his own transformation. And he has come to a new foundation. He has been through a rite of passage. So in March, that was sort of the human aspect of what is reflected above on the spirit realm. And the last step for the month of March on your human experience was the Hermit. That card in Soul Tarot is about truth. It is about becoming your own touchstone of inner wisdom about yourself, having taken time to go through these transitions and having had time to be with yourself in the quiet moments, the things you perhaps don't discuss with anybody else. The card on the far left in the center is the Bridge card. There we see that you have come through these battles, come through this rite of passage, coming into yourself and standing now in a quiet moment of victory to reflect upon what has been achieved and where your destiny will take you from this point. Spirit saying point of being. I was going to say point of view, so I think both are true. When you look at the cards on the top row, we see that young warrior involved in that epic battle who, kind of David and Goliath, Spirit always says about that young guy. And he won against all the odds, all the pressures of society, all the crazy, crazy stuff that's going on in the world because Capricorn is in Pluto, helping us by bringing all the upheaval that we see splashed across the media every day. I'm here in the United States, so you know what I'm talking about. And we see it all over the world. Power structures are being challenged. There is upheaval. We are having to face ourselves and our choices and decide in which way we'd like to go. The first card on the spirit realm is the beautiful warrior. This is the Spirit's calling him the warrior of impulse. His job is to stand in his place like the young man below him. Just stand in his place. And both of them are supported by the King of Battle on the human realm. This beautiful warrior stands at the ready. And that is what Spirit was talking about last month. Just standing, fully invested with his own power now, and having the ability to move forward based on the inspiration that comes to him. So he stands in his place, and because of the alignment of the cards, he looks at the next card on the top row, which is this beautiful depiction of a mouse. That is an adventure card. It's fairly advanced. It's a numeral 7. It's about being ready, being well fed, being in a place of abundance, and eager to go forward to have an adventure, to unfold your destiny. And the last card on the spirit realm, the warrior of art, who does battle, having emerged from his cocoon. In the depiction in the background, we see Newgrange, one of the sacred passage tombs in the Boyne Valley in Ireland. So this is the type of unfolding we've all been experiencing. The warrior of art does battle from the heart chakra. He takes his inspiration and his inference from there, and he works with the principles of love, Spirit saying, and higher emotion, higher mind, the emotion of the sacred realm. And there, Spirit's talking with me about one of the runes, and I'm trying to remember. I can't pull it up. But basically the phrase that's coming through is about love. And the notion that even with love, it is love that loves through us as a sacred act. And the outcome card is another prophecy. So we have two prophecy cards sitting side by side. A prophecy about development of new skills and a prophecy about the development of an art, the art of the sacred warrior, who utilizes love as an instrument for change and for self-guidance, Spirit says, because the Hermit is here. If you look at the far right-hand column, just look at the way the energy rises through the column and the outcome. So, becoming your own Hermit, someone who can go deep inside and utilize the wisdom inside of you as a touchstone to guide the development of skills in the direction of the spiritual warrior, whose skill set has to do with utilizing love energy. It's really a beautiful reading. The center column of cards at the bottom, we have a warrior, a spiritual warrior who has been through a rite of passage, aligned with the healing that is at the center of the reading, and having been through that process, prepares himself to set out on a new adventure. So with an outcome card that is a prophecy in and of itself about the beginning of happiness and abundance and the ability to manifest and bring forward that which is desired from the heart chakra, sitting next to a prophecy about developing new skills, it's pretty clear where we're going. Here is the reading for April. So just take a quick peek at the cards again before I transition over and take a look at what is coming forward, having been through the journey of March. So there are the cards for April. It's a beautiful continuation of the story and the double prophecy, if you will, that was coming out in the cards for March. The card that is the spirit theme, the message from spirit, is another judgment card. And we saw the judgment card in the center core of the reading on the far left. That was the judgment of battle. When you stand in yourself and you begin to assimilate where you are and the victories that you've had and how you got there. And so this month, we start with the Judgement of Skill. That was the prophecy that came out last month. So I'm going to toggle back one more time so you can see. Do you see the woman sitting by the pond looking into the sky? That's the spirit card. Last month, it was a prophecy about the development of skills. So that is the Judgement of Skill. I'm going to show it to you close up. Okay, there it is. So now having reached this place, you are progressing, right? So the augury of skill is numeral 1. It's a new beginning and a prophecy built into this new beginning. Now there has been a progression to a place where now you just sit next to this beautiful pond. And it's funny because this card came out in the reading that I did about the butterfly. If you haven't seen it, please check it out. Her walk has been transformed. Her shoes are blue, but she is moving forward with her passion and with abundance, sitting again next to a body of water. Her vessel is full, and she has time to contemplate all that has been gained and the battles that were spoken about so loudly last month, and just begin to celebrate, to take some calm, to take some rest, to assimilate, and have a moment of just being, Spirit says, before moving forward. So this month, we're going to talk about that. There is a lot of activity coming this month. Let me transition back to the cards. Interestingly, like last month, the first card on the bottom row, again, is the King of Battle. So we know that there is a continuation from last month. And the King of Battle, for those of you that don't know, this is a figure who, in a battle, lost his hand. And he had to step off the throne. Through a long mystical process, he eventually regrew his human hand. And he was able to ascend back to his throne before that process began, because one of his devotees fashioned him a silver hand, and that's what we see here. So we have, in less than a week, we have the second full moon of the month. And Spirit's been talking a lot. If you've been following along, you know, pay attention to the cycles of the moon. This year, in 2018, they are going to be apertures, and you can utilize that energy for your benefit. So I'm going to try to remember to post some things on the playlist for each month. Someone who I have a lot of respect for does readings. She's an astrologer. So I'm going to put that information there for you, but feel free to go and look. The things that resonate with you, allow yourself to go in that direction, right? I'm here to provide a certain type of messaging, a certain type of channeling. I would never want to be the end-all and the be-all for anybody. Look widely. Follow your own intuition. The Hermit was here last month to Spirit saying, to drive that home. Begin to listen very carefully to your own intuition so that this human walk, this battle of being human, can be closely aligned with the mystical realm, and this year through the aperture of the moon and the cycles of the moon. So, more discussion about being in line in that aligned, in that way, and continuing the process of spiritual regrowth here in the human realm. The very next card, which is quite lovely, is the Sacred Mother. Given everything that I've already said, and the King of Battle looks directly at this card, this is a major arcana card. So these are cards that I consider sacred guidance in a certain way. The King of Battle provides accompaniment, and he looks to, in a yin-yang, he joins with, Spirit says, you know, I talk about the yin-yang. There's information that's coming to me about that. Eventually it's going to come out in a reading, so I'm just kind of storing it up. Spirit is talking with me a lot. I've talked about it in a way that feels incessant to me, so thanks for your patience. So, Spirit's saying we're going to understand that better this year. That is the Sacred Mother. Spirit saying that is the Om, the sound of the sacred feminine, from whom and through whom all souls must travel in order to incarnate here in this realm. The act of incarnating happens through the feminine side of the yin-yang. So when you think about transitioning into this planet or out, think about, okay, Spirit is just talking incessantly in the background about the wheel of the turning of the energy. And this is the Sacred Mother, who not only shepherds your transition, helping you incarnate into the new form that is destined for you because of all the prophecy, she also brings the gifts that you need, the abundance that you need in order to make the shift and the transition. And this is the shaper of growth. So, again, referring back to last month and the fact that the butterfly has shown up here to talk to all of us about transition and transformation and shift and change and growth with the seasons, with the cycles of the moon, with your own internal leadings, the things that you know to be true that are attempting to come to the surface so that you can act upon them. Now, the other interesting thing about this reading, remember the little mouse from last month? Check it out. Last month it was on the spirit realm. The middle card that talked all about transition and movement and healing and rites of passage to prepare you for the spiritual journey. This month, in April, it's on the human realm. It's telling us that what is reflected in the spiritual realm, the way in which your soul journeys, is moving forward and becoming more aligned with your adventures here on this realm, on this planet, as a human being, existing, transitioning, adventuring, dreaming, loving, fearing. Oh, there's a huge stream of words coming through. All the things that a human being experiences, including the experience of being human. It's quite interesting to me that this is here in this way. All right, so let's take a look at the beautiful card that comes next. King of Battle, sitting on the right hand, bottom of the spread, watching and guiding and assisting the Sacred Mother as you go on this adventure. And right above the King of Battle, we see another indication of battle. It's really beautiful. And this is another prophecy card. This is the bridge card that ties your human existence to what is happening on the spirit realm, that which your soul seeks to unfold through this journey that we're having. The augury of battle, supported by the King of Battle, who had a very mystical transition. This is the moment before you touch the sword of victory. So as you go on this human journey, the prophecy that comes as a bridge card is very impactful. There's a lot of purity. You know, it looks like winter in a sense, but Spirit's saying the essence of the message is about the purity of heart, the purity of mind, the purity of action and intention, and that which we are seeking to build. And we see often in these cards a shining city of some sort in the background. So this is the sacred sword. You are preparing to be able to wield it, and all the things that you have developed as a spiritual warrior, Spirit saying, inside of a human actor, having your adventure here. Above that, we see a major arcana card. The battle that you are engaged in, the victory that is coming, the thing that ties your human experience as a reflection of the soul journey. Spirit saying desire, the soul desire that drives your incarnation here and the adventures that you have. We are all engaged in this, I firmly believe, based on all the information that's coming through to me and my life experience and my own shift and change. That which we desire comes from a higher ordered, Spirit saying both prophecy and desire. Look at that. This is sacred male energy. And we have here on the human realm, it's not in the realm of these cards, this is not specifically true, but Spirit is saying sacred mates. All right? So there's the sacred male energy. Taking this energy of movement and shift and change and growth, the shaper of growth, and providing the male energy to move it forward on the sacred realm, that's its mate. Male-informed energy, the impetus and the drive to move things forward. And what is being brought into a central position is harmony. This is the keeper of harmony. That piece of jewelry is called a torque. It was a very sacred type of jewelry. And we see this notation of a strategy game. So, and new growth and healing and the color pink, vibrancy, the heart chakra. After everything that was talked about last month, I'm not surprised about this. I am completely grateful to see it here. Your soul's desire is to become the keeper of harmony and to see that reflection developed here within your being on earth. And it is this that was severed from us. That's the message. I'm sorry, it's always hard for me to figure out how to get my face in and the cards because my viewfinder is really small. All right, so there we are. Actually, you know what? Like this. This is how it sits. This is the battle we're engaged in. It's really sacred. It's really beautiful. And you know, I talk to enough of you. I know you all feel it. I know how important it is. It's very important to me as well. You know, if we were able to just function completely from our heart chakras, how would we behave? What would be our deepest desire? And I know it's this. To develop a state of being that is about harmony. I'm getting all choked up now. And I think because of what's going on in the world and the work of Pluto and all the upheaval and all the dissonance and spirit saying and the horror that we co-create. Spirit saying, don't feel criticized, but we do it. You know we do it, right? When that, Spirit's talking about the central mind. It has to do with our thoughts on a day-to-day basis and the things that are created. And what we see here on the outside, Spirit says, is a matter of co-creation. And that's why last year Spirit was talking about it's time to create this tapestry, to weave the deeper desires together, transform ourselves. That has happened. We're ready now. So all the thoughts that you have about love and harmony and the desires that you have in your heart about that, your transformation has come forward enough that you actually have an effect. So utilize that from your human brain. Send that energy out through the heart-mind chakra. Spirit's talking about the basis of human physical development from a spiritual realm. Okay, so when embryos are developing, the heart and the brain are literally connected physically by what becomes the neural tube, the spine. And most of you probably know the heart is regulated by the brain, by the electrical impulses sent out by the brain. It's very complicated, and as a nurse I could talk about it for 3 hours, but I won't. Spirit is just saying it's time to begin to activate for yourself. Trust in yourself to know that that is true, and begin to send your love energy out into the world. In any small moment that it comes across your consciousness, take a moment and just send it out. Spirit says with a hug and a kiss, just out, right? Pluto is doing its work to bring this upheaval and to make us, Spirit's talking about being in our face. So facing ourselves in the mirror, what are we co-creating? And if we don't like it, this is the moment to begin the change, because Pluto is creating chaos. It's the perfect moment for change. Spirit's talking about Chinese philosophy. Something about the opportunity of crisis. I sort of know what Spirit's referring to, and I can't make my tongue say it. But, you know, crisis is an opportunity for change and growth. It's interesting to me that this is the type of discussion that's coming in a channeled way as the cards come out. So let's get back to the cards. Look who's looking, just like the King of Battle on the human realm is looking at the Sacred Mother. Look at the top row of cards. That is the Queen of Knowledge. Spirit is saying, abundantly aligned, looking directly at the Keeper of Harmony. And the Queen of Knowledge sits suspended in the universe. It is her job to weave together the strings of your destiny. Aquarius, it's beautiful. Isn't she gorgeous? I love her. This is one of my favorite cards in the deck. So she looks directly into and assists the work of the Keeper of Harmony. So I'm going to toggle back for a sec. Let's take a look at the beautiful card that sits next to her. That, again, is another revelation card. That is about the revelation of art. That woman is the Queen of Sovereignty. She was a seer. It was her ability to see into the future, to understand the sacred lineage that was going to unfold. And there's a long story there, but Spirit's saying to see the jewel-encrusted barrel of water, and you can't tell by this card, but this woman in mythology sits upon a crystal throne. And it is the passion that she pours out from her heart chakra, from her way of knowing, in order to share that, to bring forward information, revelation about this art that we are developing on a soul level in order to affect that which happens on earth. So as we look deeper into these cards, the other thing that's very notable to me that because of a leading I had from Spirit, okay, what I haven't talked about yet is this. That is the full moon, okay, coming on the 31st of March. What's today? I think today's the 23rd. There's the yin-yang energy, completely aligned. And because of that alignment, able to have a dialogue from a heart chakra way. They're not speaking, but they are communicating very deeply. And being affected by this river of knowledge that comes through this tower. Spirit's talking about the Tower of Inspiration. And that's interesting. Spirit's talking to me about the woman of skill, who's the woman who holds the sacred spool of destiny and winds it around the Tower of Inspiration. So, all right, I'm going to toggle back to last month. Hang on a second. Top left-hand corner. That gentleman is the male half of the energy that is spoken to with the woman of skill. The two of them are very deeply aligned, Spirit says. So, last month, a lot of male-informed energy. Look at all the cards. Moving forward, getting ready, prophecy. And the two prophecies in the center row on the far right, prophecy of skill and prophecy of art. The beginning of happiness, the beginning of the ability to manifest and send those skills out. So here we are this month. More prophecy, more revelation about the lineage that exists on the realm of the soul and the work that is happening in the sacred realm that we are carrying out here as we walk upon the earth. Right in the center of this reading, we see this card that is about our aspect. And there we are, completely aligned with the spiritual realm. Holding hands, if you will, with the soul aspect of your being through the yin-yang energy, through the source, through the aperture of the cycles of the moon. So those of you who don't know, this is Merlin and his sister. They were very loving and devoted to each other. She actually had this tower built for him. Because of his life work and his soul purpose, she wanted him to be able to look out upon the land from every possible perspective in order to inform his journey and help him increase his wisdom and understanding. And it is the aperture of the full moon that enlightened the information stream that came because of their alignment, because of the yin-yang. Okay, it's really fascinating to me. So, dialogue of art. Last month, the outcome was the augury, a prophecy about the artful way of being. This month, right at the center, in your aspect, Spirit is saying, let's talk. Let's have an artful dialogue. it signifies to me that it might be possible that you are having a very deep dialogue on the inside, and possibly with the people that you trust around you, who won't think she's going off or he's going off half-cocked or talking crazy. I know that's the feedback that comes to some of us. Spirit's talking about measured dialogue, the sacred art of measured dialogue from the heart, not as a way of convincing or changing. It's interesting. Yesterday, Spirit was talking about proselytizing. It was on Sunday when I was doing the butterfly reading. All right, so I'm getting that message again. So what Spirit is saying, please try to refrain from that activity and speak with genuine truth about that which is in your heart, just to acknowledge it to yourself, to those people that are closest to you, when it feels safe and comfortable, and to anyone else. It is about acknowledging ourselves in a very deep way. And that, again, Spirit's talking about the butterfly, emerging in this way, becoming fully present to the best of our ability and moving forward, okay, in that skill set. Let's toggle back and look at the outcome. A new foundation. And it is the foundation of skill. The ability to go forward on this new basis that we have achieved, creating with the fire and the passion that we see in the card that sits next to it. Again, yin and yang. See her dressed in her passion? Her walk has been transformed. The judgment of skill. And the foundation of skill. Beautiful progression, sacred progression. It's intensely beautiful to me. So, from a very practical point of view, this beautiful young warrior who went through this rite of passage last month, here is the outcome. Standing next, it's Spirit saying, standing next to his sacred twin. Now, I just want to say as a disclaimer, not true in the mythology of the deck, but inside the message the Spirit's trying to send out through me, okay? There you are, yin and yang, progressing because of the flow of energy. The portal, this one, right? The energy of the portal, movement, shift, and change, quiet, sacred, and the active principle. The yin, having the tools, it's always backwards in the case, having the tools that he needs available and working with the passion that exists inside, here in the human realm, to forge that which is needed, to create the tools and the pathway forward. Aquarius, that's a beautiful message this month. Thanks so much for being here, and do me a favor, will you? Like and subscribe and share and all that stuff. I'm getting actually sort of poked by Spirit. I always forget to say that stuff because in a certain way it doesn't matter to me, but I guess it's time for me too to sort of step deeper in to this journey that I'm on together with you. So I would appreciate that. I guess it does make a difference to you too. So thank you so much. Have a beautiful month. I will look forward to speaking with you in May. Thanks, everyone. I'm going to leave you with the cards.